Alrighty, I'm back. Ugh. Okay, so since it's 10:12 p.m., I don't think I'll have enough time to play anything. I might be able to play something separate, but like I said, I'm pretty tired, and my stomach still kind of hurts from this morning. And I spent the last 4 hours playing Faith, the game, the spooky, the boogie, and the stuff. And instead of letting the spooky boogie end like this, you know, for what has been as a whole a pretty enjoyable year. You know what? I'll save that till later. I'll save my wrap up till later. But instead of playing a game, I was originally planning on doing multiple things. Final day, which I wanted to play this game. I didn't think it was gonna take 4 hours. So immediately, even if I had done what I originally planned to do, this game would have effed it up. This game's gonna F it up real. Just gonna do a Q&A. To who? To who? Who's gonna ask me Q's? I always got A's, but there's no Q's, baby. Whatchamacallit? You. Originally I wanted to play, I wanted to finish Faith. I wanted to, Oxenfree, which would have taken 4 to 5 hours. And I then wanted to follow that up by just finishing the night with Bloodshot, Bloodwash. The game that I never got around to playing as well. In between all of that, I mean, towards the end, honestly, I wanted to go and do a sick classic Twitch trope that I've never done before, and I've always wanted to do. I wanted to rank them, baby. We're doing a tier list, baby. Woo! We're doing them, baby. Let's go. I definitely, if I would have started at 10 p.m. like I originally wanted to do, I would have been able to do it. Because even if this game took me 4 hours, which it did, which is frustratingly so, if I would have started at 10, I would have been like around 14 hours of stream time till 12 p.m. I would have been able to take a break, eaten, played 5 hours, then done Bloodshot, which would have taken me another 9 hours, and then done this. I could have done that in the 14 hours that I wanted to stream originally. But as a whole, I didn't get to do that. I don't, I'll talk about it in a minute. But I do want to note, I don't want to rank these in the sense that I'm ranking the video game as like a rating overall kind of form. I want to rank these in relationship to each other. So if I put something in D, that doesn't mean that I like hate it. Every single game here I like to a certain degree, it just means that in relation to the other games that I played this month, I feel like they're lower standard or higher standard, So like if I put something in D rank, don't murder me, yo. I don't mean I hate it. It means that in relation to the other things, I like that less, But like I said, I did want to do quite a few other things, and this is one of them. So I guess we're missing Oxenfree and Bloodwatch, which are the 2 other games I wanted to do this. I murdered you because I recommend all these games. Well, true. But, I don't know. Things don't work out the way they do, and I've been pretty rough this last few days, mentally and physically. And also I had a lot of homework to do, and I stayed up all the way till 5 a.m. because my sleep schedule, that's the number one hitter. It's usually the number one hitter for me. My sleep schedule is more piss poor in the last week or so than I asked forever. At the beginning of Spooky Boogie this month, I was doing alright. I had a really good fishing demo for you yesterday you would have liked. Yeah. I wanted to get around to it, but like I said, I was finishing homework. I had so much stuff to do. Maybe it'll be in phase release next year. There were some cool games because I downloaded a lot of those fishing games. I was gonna stream yesterday, but I just felt so bad, and I had like a lot of anxiety because I had a lot of homework to finish. So like I'm thinking to myself, like, should I just focus on the homework or should I stream? I blame Sal. I asked her if I should focus on the homework or stream, and she told me to focus on the homework. So if you didn't get your fishing episode, it's all her fault. But if that's the case, honestly, maybe next year I'll be in a better place mentally. That's what I said before. That's what I said the year before. For damn sure that I'm gonna be in a worse place next year. Next year you're getting a fishing week. Let's go. Next year fishing is not gonna be part of. It's not gonna be part of Spooky Boogie. It's gonna be a whole week. It's gonna be fishing week next to Frog Week, or we're gonna be doing everything fish related. But the last day of fishing week, I'm gonna go out to fish in real life. We're gonna do an IRL stream. I'm gonna buy a one of those $1,000 backpacks, and I'm gonna go out and fish in real life. But anyhow, right off the bat, encryption. I wish that it would actually do the full image instead of squaring it off like this. Inscription it's the best time I had this whole month. Whatchamacallit. If it's during spooky movie, it has to be night fishing. That's horrific. But I loved Inscriptions so freaking much this year, and it's saddeningly, it's weird how they changed the things there. It was one of the first games I played. It was the third game I played, you know? And I'm not saying that I didn't love a lot of these games, but Inscription just blew me away in a way that I wasn't expecting, you know? I had such a good time, and it was one of those times where, like, the second part of it was 9 hours, and that was just because I was just enjoying it so much, you know? I finished the game, and then I spent an hour and a half talking about the goddamn ARG around it. And it's not often that that I feel that way, you know? We couldn't do it last year. I didn't even know it was in the... I remember you guys talking about it, but like there were plenty of things that we did last year. I'm glad we did it this year, you know? I wish I wouldn't have done it this soon though, because I had such a good time. If this was like over here, you know, like I like Inside of Mine, but if it was like one of the last things we played, it would have just been such a sweet little cherry at the end of a nice spooky boogie month, you know? I loved Inscription. It was just such a fun game, mechanically, story-wise, horror-wise. The thing about a lot of spooky boogie games, a lot of horror games, I don't know why I'm calling them spooky boogie games, like that's its own genre of video games. The thing about a lot of horror games, specifically indie ones, is that sometimes there is a dilution between the gameplay and the feel. You know, a lot of indie games have really strong feel, really strong lore, really strong horror, but the gameplay is minimized. It's and it's not bad. It's just, you know, simple, or it's very one note, and it's just catered around trying to get you to that next scary point, right? But Inscription was just such a it was such a beautiful game. It was such a beautiful game of incredible lore with such a fun set of characters, and it was just so fucking fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss there. It was just so freaking fun, you know? It was such a great card game, and it's like one of those things, like next year, even maybe before that, next year, I am 100% doing the Hex, like I said, maybe even Pony Island, because clearly Danny and Mullen knows what the fuck they're doing. Sorry, I'm cussing a lot. I don't know why it's coming out of me. Clearly they know what the heck they're doing, you know? Like, I just had such a good freaking time with Inscription as a game and as a story and as a lore. And, like, it's just... It was so simple. It was like, goddamn, it was a simple, you know... Oh, creepypasta from 2011. The video game is haunted, and if you die in the game, you die in real life, kind of thing. But it was just so charming, and it played with that trope perfectly. And there were so many like active twists where it was like, boom! Now there's a YouTuber in the goddamn thing. You're playing a sick card game. You're solving a puzzle with escape room mechanics, and then you're like, here's a YouTuber, baby, and you're like, oh crap, there's a YouTuber, and then it's a goddamn 8-bit Game Boy Advance game now. What? It's a Game Boy Advance game. Here's more YouTube content. Oh no, here's some lore, and here's a goddamn robot band, you know. And yeah, there are things I didn't like about it. It's not a perfect game, but I don't know, I would highly recommend it, you know? I would highly recommend it to anyone and anything and anybody, you know? So it's up there to me. That is the goal. That is everything that I want out of a spooky boogie game, you know? Incredible lore, nice, chilling, little spooky vibe, you know? I'm fine with the sliding of the spookiness. If you want to be really, really scary, I'll take it, you know? But as long as it's just a little bit of spooky, I like that vibe, you know? And Inscription did that perfectly, and it's just such a beautiful, wonderful game, you know? If we're gonna take it next to Detention, I guess I'll go one at a time. Detention? Detention's a little complicated for me. Here I am judging Sao harshly since it is one of the ones that she but, I mean, it's not down here, ain't it? We'll go B. You know, the tension is a absolutely gorgeous, beautiful game. Um, and I had a really good time with it. Historically, I find it really interesting. And it's one of those things where the real history behind it somehow is scarier to me than the game was. You know, and clearly that's what the game is trying to like teach you about and trying to like fuel you with like to fuel the scariness factor of it. But like probably reading the Wikipedia article about the goddamn White Terror in Taiwan would probably like stick with me a lot more, you know. But this game was like beautifully tragic, especially towards its end, and um, it was interesting and well done. The only thing that I find that makes me not like have it as an A rank or even as an S rank is that it's one of those games that like around halfway through you get it exactly, you know. Once you find out that it's in Taiwan and there's a political movement and it's based on a real thing and blah blah blah, you're like, okay, so that's what this game is. And then you experience the story and it has that beautiful ending where you get to play as the as Wei when he gets out of jail, and it's tragic and it feels really emotional and it's really well done. But like it ceases to, not only does halfway through it ceases to be scary, but it ceases to be incredibly interesting because you like get it so fast, you know. I'm not like super well learned about history, you know. I had only heard passings about the White Terror before playing the game, but like these kind of things repeat themselves in history a lot, and as soon as you kind of get what the time period was like, you get it, you know. And halfway through, when you realize that this game is a representation of this girl's grief after she's dead, you're like, okay, I get it. It's not scary anymore. It's not. It's still very interesting, but it loses a lot of its horror feel for me, which is one of the most appealing parts of it for quite a while. Because, like as I've mentioned previously quite a few times, I find supernatural horror to be really scary. But as soon as there is an explanation, there's nothing. You know, that's what makes supernatural horror so scary to me, is that it's so unable to be understood. You know, uh, I find that stuff incredibly charming. There's a lot of Asian horror that is very much like that. You know, just stuff that you cannot understand. Um, there's a lot of like Junji Ito works that are very much like, here's the thing that we don't understand and it's happening and it's horrific, and I find that stuff to be super appealing to me. Um, but as soon as halfway through this game, when it ceases to be a supernatural game, uh, and like Jin just said, it becomes a metaphor and analogy for grief and this horrific event, then the horror isn't scary to me anymore, you know? And that's what kind of happened in the game. You can kind of see it through my playthrough. Halfway through the game, I was like, all right, like at the beginning of the game, I was like genuinely kind of scared of jump scares, of things happening, of characters, of demons, of blah blah blah. And as soon as I got it, it stopped being scary to me entirely, you know? And that's why I feel like a lot of games like could have a really good mixture of it, you know, where you can like really delve the mystery and keep it really sealed shut um uh until like the very end, so the game can continue to be really scary until it clicks on the end of the game, you know. And I don't feel like that Detention did that. I don't think it really wanted to do that. I think it wanted to be a history lesson about this period in time, which I respect it for. But as a whole, I enjoyed it. You know, good. It was a good game. I had a really good time with it. You know, and I'm glad I played it. And next year, I will definitely play Devotion. You know, even if I have to download it illegally from the internet, I have to hack into the Chinese, I don't know, database to get a copy of it. Um, but yeah, you know, I had a good time, and thank you, Zal, for recommending it. Hopefully, we'll have a big set of games next year. Devotion will be part of that list. The next one is Fears to the Phantom. See, here's the thing. If I was rating this on spookiness factor, it would be like up here. Dude, this is the scariest game that I played this year. rivaled only by the Chinchilla games over here, the Chilla's art games. But even the Chilla's art games, I feel like I found less scary than the Fears of the Fathom. Fears of the Fathom got me bad. And Fears of the Fathom got me bad because it was like iconically, traditionally, I didn't mean to put it there, but I'll move it in a second. It was iconically and traditionally spooky. You know, it has very cheap horror. It was very slender, the 8 pages. It was very, you know, classic Five Nights at Freddy's jump scary horror, you know? And you know what? I like that kind of horror, you know? I'm a big scaredy cat. I have grown a high horror tolerance by playing so many spooky games throughout my lifetime, throughout the many spooky boogies that I played in the last 15 years of me making goddamn content on the internet. But I haven't played that many like iconically cheat horror games. So Fears of the Fathom still gets me because it's very like it plays to the human emotion, it plays to human instinct. So when it's scary, it's scary. When it jump scare, it's bad. You know? Oh, and I really liked it for that because I haven't experienced that kind of horror in a long time, and it's thrilling and it's nice. Also, you know, like Laffy was there, Jin was there, Sal was there, Boydie Toity was there, and whenever I have a nice group of friends here that I really like, it makes the game experience a lot better for me. And that was one that was really memorable to play. But as a game, they're a little jank. They're a little silly. There's not a lot to them. They're very much walking simulators, like Chin mentioned. I'm just sad how often you get stuck. Yeah, I actually think that's hilarious how often I got stuck. Can't you believe that when I played the second chapter, Fears of the Phantom 2, I immediately missed the goddamn gas station, and then somehow I was able to glitch it in a way where there was dialogue in the game where it said, oh, the creator of the game didn't want to make this part. They were too lazy or whatever. You remember that? Can't believe I found that immediately. That's so stupid. But even though I had a really good time with it, even though it was such a fun horror game, I still think I enjoyed it a little bit less than Detention. Because artistically, I feel like I enjoyed Detention more. You know, it's like a C. It's a C-ranged game. Okay, so 50 Unholy Trilogy. I am gonna go ahead and, even though I played Chapter 1 and 2 here, I'm gonna name this the 5th, the Unholy Trinity Chapter 3, like relation into these other games review kind of thing, because it is the new one and I had already played the other ones. You know. 50 Unholy Trinity is an absolutely gorgeous game. The first one is really fantastic. It's really interesting. It has fun lore you can follow really deeply. If you're really, it also has a really cool style. The entire thing does not get old, but it definitely has gotten a little bit dry since the first time it happened. When Brave Chapter 3 came out, Chapter 1, sorry, it was like kind of revolutionary. It was really cool. It felt really interesting and new. And now a lot of games have like cheaply done this, you know. Goddamn Five Nights at Freddy's guys has Atari style minigames. And those were happening around the same time as this. But back then, it was a lot more of a new thing. So for the release of Chapter 3, it's a bit of a more of a worn out concept at this point. But it's still really beautifully done. They've done a lot of really interesting things mechanically that I find really cool. There were 3 different segments: the kindergarten, the like hotel, and the hospital room. It feels different from the other ones, and it follows the story really well. And I think it caps off the story that Chapter 1 sets up highly. So honestly, I think it's an absolutely wonderful game. I would recommend it to anybody, and it's definitely a spooky boogie highlight if there is more Airdorf games coming out in the future. Not that they need me, the 3 viewer person, to play them. This person got this game gets incredible popular has incredible like reception, and it gets a lot of like really popular big streamers to playing it because it has become really big at this point, you know. To a certain extent, I kind of feel like some of these other games, some of these other creators deserve some of that love. Change your stream title and crap, sorry, I forgot. Let's make this just chatting. And then I'll call it this. I love this song. There we go. But yes, Faith is great. Chapter 3 is great. I'm excited to see what they also do in the future. And they deserve all the love they get. However, Chapter 3, it would be an S rank if it wasn't for that final boss fight. And I will not, and I will stay bitter. No worries, darling. I love you. I will stay bitter. God damn it. Halloween After Special. I love Halloween After Special as a concept. I think Halloween After Special as a concept is really incredible. I was supposed to full out blown game. I was a 7-hour experience. I wish I could make Halloween After Special. I think the idea of 2 kids watching TV on a Halloween night, flipping through channels with commercials, funny moments, and clicking on channels that lead into video games that are different from one another is such an excellent idea. It's really exciting. It's really, really cool. But clearly, the tech demo is short. It's one of those things where, like, I feel it has the potential to be a very, like, its own game, you know? Could you imagine? I would kill to make a game like this, you know? Could you imagine a game with the exact same premise, 2 children watching game, but it's like a longer game with multiple tech demos that are like decently long each, and they all build on a mystery that like you get separate parts of by playing, like the thing one. I should add 100 PS1 demo disc and try to collection extra similar to its hub enters for game demos. Yeah, okay, add those in there. Why not? But clearly what it was trying to do is be a tech demo, which I think it succeeds at, and it's really fun. It's simple and it's cool. But I think the idea of flipping channels with the kids, it could be expanded and be like an entire game of its own. It could be really exciting, and I think it'd be really cool if you have all the channels, you find the secret channels, you go into the games. Like, could you imagine if you flip into a channel, you click onto a tech demo / not a tech demo, but like a full game that is fully experienceable, maybe like a 30-40 minute thing where you can find a lot of information about whatever the heck is happening in the mystery of the night. And also in the game, you can find channel numbers that you can then save or write down, and when you go back to the thing, you can write down the channel number and then get secret stuff that way. There's just a lot of possibilities that I find super intriguing, and I think it's, you know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But for what it tries to do, it's simple, it's fun, it's creative. I had a really good time with it. I love Oats. I love Oats. You should follow them on Patreon. I'm giving them $10 on Patreon a month now. And I don't make any money, so, you know, that means that I like them a lot. So I am gonna put this C. C, because it's just a fun, cool tech demo. As C being C being good. C being good. You know? Yeah. C being good. This is a masterpiece. This is like a incredible experience. These are great games, and these are good games. Maybe you'll get your name in the game credits. Oh, yeah, cool. Anyhow, Eve. I had a really good time with Eve. It was the only RPG Maker, well, classic RPG Maker game, because, you know, these are RPG Maker games, but like this is the only classic RPG Maker game that I played this year. Next year I'll definitely play off all the other ones that you want me to play, whatever the heck, put them in there, that kind of thing. But I found Eve to be really charming, you know. I didn't grow up with it, and you don't have to put too many in there, but I think it's because, you know, like last year, Spooky Boogie 2021, I I started it off with that RPG Maker game, Trick or Treat. I don't know. It just feels kind of fun. And then a few years ago, I did Angels of Death and all that kind of stuff. To me, like RPG Maker games are such like kind of special, weird staples of Spooky Boogie for me. Our classics. We can even put Yumaniki Day. Maybe. Yeah, go ahead. But don't put too many, alright? I don't want it to be overabundant. Just like 1, 2 or 3 at the most, I feel, you know? But Eve, I really had a good time with, especially this remake. It was fun. It was really cute. It was charming as heck. Specifically because, like, even though I didn't grow up with it, I grew up around the era of Eve. I grew up around the internet of Eve, so I get it, you know? And as I was playing it, I was like really in love with how incredibly charming of an experience it was. And it made me realize that if I had played this, if I had downloaded this 2012 when it came out, I would have loved it. You know, I would have had such a good time with it. I would have think Gary's the hottest guy in the world. I would want to be this little girl so badly. You know, I had a great time. But that experience as a game, it's just fine. You know, as far as an RPG Maker game done is done pretty well. The buzzes are not super convoluted. The story is interesting to follow, and it's short and sweet, and it doesn't overstate its spectacle. Uh, and even though I think as an RPG Maker game, it's pretty iconic, pretty uh, like inspiring. As a overall game, I think it's just a pretty decent experience that I had a pretty good time with. Uh, put it a B. It's a B. To be fun, most of the games on my list we didn't get to or didn't fit into the schedule. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about that later. But inside. It was a cool way to open up the month for sure. I really kind of wanted to play Limbo this year. I had Limbo to next year, so let's put Limbo in next year's. Because I've never played Limbo, you know. But Inside, I had a really good time with Inside. Once again, I don't mean to be a crap on Sal's opinion. She might have gone to bed already, but I liked it a lot. I guess okay. The criticisms that I said back then when I first played it still stand. You know, I loved 2/3 of that game. I think the mystery is pretty interesting. It's nice and exciting. The gameplay is fun. The puzzle elements and the beauty of it is really cool. It's really high top tier stuff. But I hate the goddamn water segment so much, and it's to me so upsetting. The 1/3 of the game is water. I don't like that. 7 out of 10, too much water. Honestly, well, I don't know. It was just frustrating to me, and it was also one of those things where, even though I really liked the union at the end, where we became the giant blob. Spoilers for the game. I thought, I don't know. I feel like I've seen some reviews about its sense, and I feel like I'm gonna step on some toes here. But I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's like a beautiful crescendo. The climax is really epic. It builds up to it, and I think it's really exciting when you become the thing." And it's like an incredible moment, and it's super earned. And I'm not saying it's not earned, but to me, it wasn't as incredible of a moment, as it wasn't as incredible as a moment as it felt. It was really cool, and it definitely felt earned, but it didn't blow me away. I wish it would have blown me away, but it was just fun, and as a game, it's really well made. It's beautiful. So I'm not gonna rate it. I'm not gonna hate it harshly or anything like that. I don't hate it. I had a good time with it, but I think this goes in the mid. I'm not saying it's mid. I'm not saying it's mid. Sal, I know you're asleep, but I'm not saying it's not a mid game. It's mid of this list. It's mid in relation to the other things I played in this game. Inside of Mine, or In Sound Mind. In Sound Mind was a super fun. Do you want to rank them in their individual tiers as well? No, that would take forever. And also, I don't like being that harshly critical about games. But In Sound Mind, honestly, I really liked. I had a really good time with it. Like it was 10 hours. No, it was 20 hours. I played this game for 20 hours or whatever, and I had a really good time with it. It was one of those games that like barely beat the theme of Spooky Boogie. It's definitely a horror game or in the horror umbrella. But only one part of this game was scary. It was like, and even that, it wasn't super scary. But honestly, I love its charm. I love the leaving Tombstone music in there. I'm already Tracer, all the classics. I had a really good time with it, It was a bit long, and as as a game, it was generic. You know, it was it was a FPS game with puzzle elements. It was a Half-Life uh game, indie game. That I mean, there's a million of those. You know, there's a million of games, but I got a good time with it. It was fun. I loved the climax of it. I liked the fatty guy, the bad guy. He was so charming. I love the way he was super annoying throughout the game. Uh, Even if I hated it when I was playing it, I had a good time. You know, I don't know. I can't say like I adored it. I can't say it was a masterpiece, but I think this one is in the middle as well. I had a really good time. It was just a fun time. Midnight Scenes. Midnight Scenes is something that I feel has such incredible potential. And if I was a billionaire, and by a billionaire I mean a millionaire, and by a millionaire I mean someone who just made money, I would give this guy hella patron. You know, um, if I had a lot of money, I would be like, "Hey, dude, here's a crap load of money. Make these every year, baby. Every year. Here, I'll hire you a few other porkers if you need them. Make one every year, baby." I had a really good time with the idea of Midnight Scenes. Midnight Scenes, is that what it was called? Yeah. I love chapter 3. I love the third. The nanny. The nanny was really well done. Chapter 1 and 2 were really cool. As a concept, it's really fun. The idea of a Twilight Zone style horror game franchise where there is a new episodical bite-sized horror every year or every little while is really cool to me, and I think it's really interesting, and you can play with so many fun ideas. And because they're shorter, and if you're not small, I'm sure from what I remember looking it up, it's one individual who makes these games, so I'm sure it takes a lot of effort, or it takes them 2 years. But if you had a small team, you would be able to do so many fun concepts with it. You know, like Twilight Zones, because it's episodical and every single and there's so much of it. You could just kind of have, let's have one about aliens, dude, and let's have one about goddamn, what if you were in a snow globe, and what if you were in an airplane and you look to the side of the wing because you're next to it and you're scared of flying, and there's a little gremlin man on the wing, and he was like, "Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo." And then every single time you went, hey, there's a gremlin man on the thing, the people would come over, like the stewardess would come over and look out the window, and they would be like, "There's no little man out there. You're a crazy psychopath. If you keep doing this, we're gonna kick you out of this plane. You're gonna get you arrested." And you're like, okay, I guess I'm losing my mind. And then you look over after they leave, and there's a little gremlin man still jumping at the wing. I am referencing a very specific episode of the Twilight Zone, but I think as an idea, Midnight Scenes is really properly, really incredible. Chapter 1 and 2 are really fun and enjoyable, but you know, they are just alright. And the Nunny is really good. I like it a lot, and I hope there's more, and I hope that person succeeds. You know, it goes back to my earlier point about how you know, I really do think that Faith deserves the love that it's getting. I should have had it this zoomed in this whole time. I think Faith deserves the love that it's getting, but I wish some of that popularity would rub off on some other creators. So, as a whole, put that C rank. You alright? Alright, Nobody's Home. I like Nobody's Home a lot. Okay, you know what? I ain't even have to make an argument for that. BB, baby, let's go! BB. Anyhow. Nobody's Home, I liked a lot. I definitely did not like it as much as No Delivery. If No Delivery was here, if I was doing this for last year, No Delivery would be S rank immediately. It'd be S rank, baby. But Nobody's Home just kind of feels like a smaller, cheaper version of No Delivery, with a cool, interesting premise, but definitely not as much to explore, not as much to theorize, not as many cool little factors. What made No Delivery so cool wasn't its overacting story, which, you know, I'm not saying that it was bad, but honestly, I don't remember it super well, so like it must have not impacted me so much. But you know what I loved about No Delivery was the pizzeria aspect, going back to a room with new weapons or new things, and unlocking certain things, dying and getting a new character, and going to a specific place with a new ability and doing certain things, going to the right after you and getting a thing, and then going to the left and getting a thing, and then going back to the right and getting a new thing, or finding stuff in rooms that we've been before, or interacting with new rooms in a special way. It was really cool. It had an escape room aspect to it that I find super charming. Let I say, it had an Omega Mart vibe, baby, and it was good. Nobody's home feels like a smaller version of that. Um, and because of its lack in size, it feels not as great. You know, but it's still good. It's still good, and I think it deserves to be here in the mid. Overwatch. I wonder what I would have if Splatterwing would have actually happened. I wonder what I would have ranked it. Uh, but Overwatch. Okay. Well, in comparison to stuff here, it's different. But as an event, and I have now gone on to play it a few times. The Junkenstein's Revenge, Breath of the Wild. It is really good. It has a lot of like cool things that I didn't notice the first time around. So like it's a mission, right? You get from one point to point B, you get keys and you fight certain bosses and you team up and you destroy certain things with certain heroes' abilities, and it's cool. It's cool. You get fun little interactions. But there's actually a lot of really cool stuff in there. Like you can go before you fight the first boss, Moira, the Banshee as they call it, you can actually get jump scares from her by exploring the place. Because every time you play it, the keys to unlocking her are put in a separate spot. But you can actually like go down a bridge and she'll appear and run into your face. Or you can go down and look at a building and you'll see her like crawling up a building or whatever. Or you're going inside a room and then she'll like zoom right by. Or you'll go under a bridge and you'll see her like zoom around the bridge. It's really cool. There's a lot of really cool stuff like that. There's a room in the game where you like sit down and listen to a radio for a little while. It's towards the beginning of the mission, and you can go up to a door. There's like 5 doors, and one door has the lights on, and then you can knock on the door, pop, 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 pop. And if you door like 5-6 times, you get like a jump scare, like you get an interaction where like you hear some zombies like yell. Ah! It's cool. There's a lot of really cool stuff like that. And if this is the future of Overwatch, if this is what PvP will be like, I am so incredibly excited for that. And I think it's a super win for Overwatch. But in relationship to other indie horror games, it's just alright. It's a little unfair because it's a mission. It's a mission. Maybe if it was a Junkenstein's Revenge, a whole goddamn game I paid $40 for, where you get to play as Overwatch heroes, and it had like a crap load of missions, and if they were all like that, this would be really highly rated. But because it's just a mission, it's just alright. I think it goes in the same realm as the tech demo, Subway Midnight. I don't think anything is gonna go on here. There's no way there's anything that we'll see. I don't know. Subway Midnight, I adore. Okay, you know what? Since I already put BB up here, let me give you my quick explanation. I just adore BB. I think BB's writing is so cute. I love the art style. I love the feel of the games. No one's doing it like them. No one's doing it like them. It has this incredible late night cartoon, Parappa the Rapper, weird, quirky horror vibe with weird luminal feeling. It's just so unique, and I love it. I love Off the Killers, man. I love BB. I love CZ. I love them all. They're just, I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love these games. The only thing that I don't like about them is that they are pretty similar, and every time there's a new one every few months, it just kind of feels like there's more BB, But they are getting graphically better. This new one had really cool stuff in it, but as a whole, as a game feel, as a game-wise, they're very similar. They're very, you go to an area, there's a spooky guy, he follows you, you make witty banter, blah, 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 blah. I feel like I wouldn't want to change too much about BB. I love BB. I love Off the Killers, but I feel if they wanted to get the games to feel very different, I don't know, maybe add a puzzle in there. You know? Maybe the next one should have a puzzle or two. Instead of it just being, walking around, looking at things, talking to things, seeing things, give it a puzzle, something like that. Make it feel cool, I, um, but I just love them. I love BB. I love BB. I love BB. That's all I can say. Subway Midnight. I hope this isn't an insult. But Subway Midnight is like Off the Killers with a little bit less charm, but like beautifully polished and gorgeous. But with a lot less of the game feel and the vibe that the BB games have. But it does look pretty similar, at least with the art direction. The 2D character in a 3D realm that walks around, looks silly, feels silly. I like Subway Midnight a lot. I like Subway Midnight aesthetically the most. Aesthetically, this is a 10 out of 10, baby. I love the character designs. I love their little interactions. I love their little lores. I love the killer, and I love the aesthetic a lot. I like Subway Midnight. But as a game, it feels like the thing just end. It did. We'll move on to the next one. Uh, what was I getting at? As a game, okay. So what Subway Midnight was a walking simulator where you walk around really cool environments, right? Which I thought it did really well. However, for a walking simulator where you walk around and look at really cool things and solve really simple puzzles, you could have got more bombastic with it. Like, it was one person who made this game for 3 years. I follow them on Twitter since. If they have a Patreon, I would definitely give them money. Maybe they have a Patreon. I don't know. So I'm not crapping on them in any way. I think it's an absolutely incredible feat that they've managed to do this in 3 years. Such a beautiful game with cool soundtrack, with cool game feel, with cool character designs, with cool all that stuff. It's a really good time. But for a game that's main purpose is walking around and looking at cool things, you could have gone cooler. You could have had goddamn trains that were like straight up messed up in the head, baby. Get into a train where the goddamn train like splits in half or something, and I walk on the roof, Mario BBBB style, where I get to flip from up and down or something. Do some wax crap, Go into a world where it zooms out and then it's like huge, and then you're like walking on top of the train or something, baby. Just do some crazy stuff. And the game did a lot of cool stuff, but I feel like there was some room in there to do some crazier stuff, Specifically for a game that's built around just walking around and looking at things, But I still really liked it. I really like this aesthetic. I loved it a lot. And it's a solid game. Let's put that in the middle. Yeah. Search Party. I wish I could have played Bloodwash. I completely forgot about that. But Bloodwash was originally supposed to happen today, wasn't it? But Search Party is a great game. A fun, roguelike game with cool little lore and fun interacting experience. But it's pretty simple. Its story is also decently simple, but it's fun and scary. I had a good time with it, and it was definitely good. Okay. This is gonna seem kind of mean, but I think it might have to go there. Because I definitely enjoyed the nanny more than I enjoyed Search Party. I enjoyed the concept of Halloween Special more. I enjoyed Search Party. I enjoyed the thrill of Fears of the Phantom more than I enjoyed Search Party. And I definitely enjoy the promise of the Overwatch more than I enjoyed the Search Party. Welcome back, darling. I still liked it. It was still a good game with fun game feel, with cool, interesting lore with a nice exploration mechanic that I digged. But did I like it more than these games? I don't think so. I think I liked it a little less. So out of everything here, I think this might have to go there. Which one's this? Convenience store. Convenience store is really scary. It's really spooky. It has a really good vibe. I had a good time playing it. I was honestly, it might be the scariest game I played. That damn TV puzzle. It might be maybe less than Fears to the Phantom. It might be the scariest game. The second scariest game I've played. This entirety Spooky Boogie, because it was scary. It was natural. It was interesting. I had the goddamn wrench. I had the dog in me. I had the wrench. All the classics. And I am definitely excited to play more chill as art games in the future. But it was simple. It was walking simulator-esque. There was a lot of stuff in there that I felt a little unintuitive, like the TV puzzle, or like looking at certain things or finding certain things. But it was really scary. Is it the bathhouse? Is the one that just came out? But it was really scary, and I had a really good time with it. I'm excited to play more games of his, and I think it goes here because even though I had a really good time with it, and it was really scary, felt a little empty to me. I don't know, somehow about it. Felt a little empty to me. And I don't know. It wasn't that engaging. However, the closenship, that's an A rank, baby. Coffee simulator. Let's go. That's a game, right, baby? That's a game. I had such a wonderful time with the closenship. It was silly. Oh, it was so fun and silly. It had genuinely engaging coffee making mechanic that felt really fun to play, and I would do that forever. Dude, I could play a god. You know how Inscription has that case official mod that makes the first part of the game is unlimited? I would play an unlimited mission of the closing ship. Right. Customers come in, and I gotta prep their orders, baby. It was good time. As a game, solidly well done. It was engaging, interesting, spooky in the best way possible, and it had a lot of really cool like little horror stuff in the background, and like having the guy like stalk you was scary, and every time it got me. I'm over here making the coffee and being a slave to the empire, and then it ends. I go out to clean, and the spooky activates, and every time it happened, I was like, oh no, not the spooky! Not the goddamn spooky, it's back! They're making me scared! No way! I had a good time with it, man. Ghost and Ship was good time. I'm really excited to play more chinchilla art games, like I said. I love the style, I love the feel, I love the funniness to it, I love the quirkiness, I love the mechanics. I just had a good time, man. I had a real good freaking time. So it definitely goes up there. And last but definitely not least, Who's Lila? I can say a lot about Who's Lila. I loved a lot about Who's Lila. Honestly, out of all the games here, story-wise, it might have been the game that left the biggest impact on me, because it did a lot of really cool stuff, you know? Even though it's so funny, I said this when I played the game, but its main mechanic, the this mechanic, or you do or you do that to him, it's like the thing that sells the game, the thing that advertises the game, the thing that is put in the front of the Steam page, but it's the least interesting mechanic in the entire game, you know? The interesting stuff, baby, is getting Damon out here, baby. It's going into the internet and finding information that you can put into the game and getting phone numbers on multiple playthroughs and coming back and trying different routes and like interacting with certain characters and um maybe make that critique. Yeah, I mean, because it feels that way, you know. But the other stuff, bangers, baby, bangers. No one's doing it like Who's Lila, baby. No one's doing it like that. I love that stuff, man. I think more games should have ARG aspects indebted into the games. You know, Inscription had that incredible epic ARG at the end of it. Probably one of the best ARGs that I've ever studied on. And I have been a member or a part of some as they have been going on, and I've looked at many. But Inscription's ARG, beautiful. But you don't often see a video game that actively encourages ARG behavior in the game as a gameplay mechanic. That is the good stuff, baby. I love that, dude. Nobody's doing like Who's Lila, you know? And the plot around it is really interesting. The Lila elements, the Tulpa stuff, the real life depictions or like the real life inspiration from real religions and real strains of thoughts and ideas and Sangorian archetypes or whatever. For those games that also tier list for which year was the best. Maybe. I can definitely tell you now, but what I feel about 2021. If I do a ranking for which Spooky Boogie is the best, do I have to include the ones from my YouTube channel that nobody watched except for Eugene and like my ex? Do I have to include Angels of Death Year in here? But as a whole, I think this game is a banger. It feels has incredible aspects, incredible mechanics, incredible cool stuff, but it does feel a little undercooked. It feels a little undercooked, you know? I still really liked it though. Honestly, out of everything here, this is the game that feels like it straddles A and B the most, you know? Like, I liked it more than most of this game, so I'm gonna put it on the front. It straggles. I liked it more than all of these, but I definitely didn't like it more than these, you know? At the same level as these. So, if there was an imaginary middle line, it'd be here, but it's on the front of that B rank, baby. And that's how I feel about Spooky Boogie 2022. a great month nonetheless, you know. I had a blast. I loved it very much, and I'm very much looking forward to it next year. It's a B plus. Yeah, it's a B plus. I am gonna miss the fall music. I am gonna miss the theme. Oh man, can we give a shout? You know what? I guess I'll end the tier list there. Tier list really good. You can make a new tier list B plus. I'm not gonna do that. Who am I, a teacher? Who am I, goddamn preferential treatment here? Just leave it there. But I had a really good time with it. I probably should have changed the subtitle over here. This faith on Holland Trilogy, but whatever. It's not the big deal. Let's move over here. Like I mentioned previously, I'm gonna miss a lot of, you know. Yeah, but Vault is just getting started, but we're going back. We're going back to playing just regular games, just single games and stuff, with less like ARG aspects to it, or like me looking up a lot of stuff. So we're probably not gonna be hearing the soundtrack a lot more on stream. I'm still gonna listen to it, but for me, it's always gonna be like a representation of what the Spooky Boogie, like vibe was for me. What do we even do after Spooky Boogie? I'll let you know in a minute. But I do wanna, before I finish it once and for all, Spooky Boogie, I do want to make it known that I need to be canceled. I'm just kidding. Where is it? Wow, what is it? One minute. I'm trying to find something, but I'm doing a really piss poor job at finding it. Wrong thing. Excuse me, I'm really bad at this. Excuse me. I have never played Spooky House of Jumpscare, so it would be fun. Why isn't this showing up? The DLC is on it. Maybe it'll be on sale sometimes. It probably on sale right now, if anything. Oh. Really weird. It's not working for some reason. Oh, whatever. I guess I could just do it this way. I'm really gonna miss this. That's me! Shut up, Seal. Second. That took forever, but I just wanted to say I'm really gonna miss this beautiful theme with a purple theme here with the incredible artwork here from Mango here. I am so happy with the way this turned out. I think it looks really good. It's gonna be a shame to go back to the regular, even though I love that one just as well. But I really like the vibes. I think the vibes are great, you know? The purple look with this. And I have quite a few things planned for next year, baby. So we'll see how that goes. But it's a little sad to say goodbye to it for now. As Mango for a Christmas one. I don't do a Christmas special. It ain't gonna happen. And also, I don't have that much money, Jin. But I'm really glad when that comes out. So I would love to give a cute shout out to all of the people watching here. Sao, Jin. follow you know, Mango here. If anybody's watching it in the future, they are incredible. They're one of my best friends. They make beautiful content, and I absolutely adore the way this turned out. The process behind us was great. I had a great time with this. I loved it. I loved it. Add Mango Cakes on Twitter. If you go to my Twitch, they're down on my links as my artist there. So you can always find it that way. But you know, I think it looks great, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I am a small streamer, # small streamer content kind of thing, and I don't make a lot of money. I'm pretty poor, so stuff like this is like really satisfying to me because it feels, I don't know, I paid for it and stuff. It just feels collaborative and it feels cool, and it makes me feel special, which I I appreciate, even though I did nothing but give them money, you know. And I really liked it, and I will definitely be looking forward to it next year, you know. But anything else to say? I had a really good time. I thank you, Jin and Sao, for giving me the list of games to play this game, even though I did miss a few. I'm honestly really sad that we missed Horror Fishing Day. That out of everything is the thing that, like, man, I really wanted to play Horror Fishing Game. But okay, I guess we'll do it next year, you know. I don't know. I struggle with things, and my my heels have not been good for the last little while. I was doing pretty good at the beginning of Spooky Boogie, but towards the end I started feeling pretty bad. So you know, it did impede on things, but it didn't impede on things that badly. Because actually, I only missed like 4 days. You know, I stream late a lot, but I only missed like 4 days. And as a whole, I didn't do devotions, which the reason I didn't do devotions was because I wasn't available anywhere. I did, and I didn't do oxen free, and I didn't do the horror fishing days, and that's it. Out of everything that I planned, those were the only two things that I didn't do. When I made my schedule, those were the two things that I didn't do. A part of it was that even though I missed 4 days, some games ended up being one streams instead of two streams, like Eve. Sorry, Pound. Yeah, but that doesn't count. Fishing game is one stream, all right? But there was the luck that some of the games that I planned as two-parters were only one-parters, so like it ended up like fixing itself. And Nintendo not giving me Splash Halloween. That was also another part of it. I had a whole day dedicated to that, and it didn't end up happening because it didn't happen. Hopefully that happens next year. But it worked out fine. The only thing that I missed that I feel kind of bad about is the horror fishing game, and I didn't get to play Oxenfree. I wanted to end it in a banger, because it's Halloween Day, and it's the thing that we celebrate the whole month for, Happy Halloween. And I wanted to, do a little bit more than fight a boss for 2 hours, But it is what it is. It's not the biggest of deal. I've talked about this plenty of times, but it's a little sad to put a lot of effort into something when I don't necessarily do this to get viewers or have my work acknowledged by people, but it is sometimes sad to use up energy and originality and creative mojo to do stuff that you put a lot of effort for there to be no one here, because sometimes, as much as I love Sao and Jane, they're my best friends. One of them I fuck. Whatchamacallit? I sometimes will do streams that I put a lot of effort into, and they will not even be the ones here. Like sometimes I'll put a lot of effort into something, into into a stream, into an idea, and sometimes they won't even be here, and that feels absolutely abysmal. So as a whole, maybe it's a godsend that we didn't do horror fishing day, because that is a super cool idea, and it might be better than Joy if there were more people here to see it, and not that I mind doing stuff with solely you two. Do that all the time. I've been goddamn making Spooky Boogie content solely for Jin since I was like 14. That's not true. Like 16, 17. But it is what it is, and I don't disavow it. But hopefully I'm in a better mental space next year, so we can put a lot of effort into something like this. Hopefully, maybe I can have a sleep schedule that isn't absolute garbage. And hopefully Final Fantasy will never happen. But as a whole, I really enjoyed Spooky Boogie this year. I do want to say, you mentioned earlier that I should rank which of the Spooky Boogies I like the most. I like Spooky Boogie 2021 a lot more than Spooky Boogie 2022. I love Spooky Boogie 2021. I had a really good time with it. Okay, I have a question. Completely unrelated. Well, somewhat related. Here's my channel, CL's Garden, right? I'm currently not signed in. They changed the hub. These are bigger now. The thumbnails are bigger. The some of the curves are curvier. It looks a little more aesthetic. I'm into it. I'm not sure how I feel about this being bigger, but that's fine. What's going on here? So like they used to have like recently uploaded / popular, and also like oldest, date oldest, but some channels didn't have the date oldest. But look at something that I realized here. If I try to go back all the way, it doesn't let me scroll more back than this. What's up with that? Why am I not allowed to see that? Is it because I'm not signed in? Am I only allowed to watch this amount of content because I'm not they're not around on some of my end for some reason? Oh, really? Interesting. What's going on here? Where's my content? Is it because I'm not logged in? Like, let's see if I go up front and I clicked on Beanie Vinesauce here. See how far back it'll let me go. Well, it's letting me go back way more than it did for me. Huh. Interesting. I wonder, well, Jin here is saying that they're allowed to go all the way back to the last Spooky Boogie, right? Like, farther than where I'm getting at, or like all of Spooky Boogie. Because to me, it's only letting me like scroll through here. Blood of the Killer, welcome back, Little Nightmares, and Trick or Treat Remake. And there's a whole month under there. That is very weird. You know, that's my man, Nathan Drake. Who knows? Whatever. That's the same spot as me. That's last Spooky Boogie. It doesn't let you scroll back. It didn't delete my videos or anything, right? Like, what's going on there? What's up with that? They're still here though. You can. There's still Body Simulator and Amori, and all the others, and the entire Spooky Boogie 2021 is here. You know, but unusual. I don't know why I went on that rant, but you know, YouTube be YouTubing. What I wanted to get at is that I did like Spooky Boogie 2021 more. It was mostly because like it was my first time streaming. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of like general bigger coming from me, because it was like it was the first time ever that I was doing something live and I had people here. And even if it was just you, Jin, and Sal, it felt really, really, really exciting, you know? And now I've been doing it for a year. Now I'm burned out. I'm a washed up streamer with no success. And you know, it's a little less exciting for sure. I also kind of feel like, even though I adore the games that I played this year, I think I liked the games that I played last year a little more, if I'm gonna be honest. What was before that? Spooky Boogie? Well, that's where my channel starts. There's a few Wonderful 101 thanks, but the problem isn't that it's only letting me go to the last 3 videos of Spooky Boogie. Sorry, I was reading your chat. I'm scared. Remake? Really? Oh, I did say I had never played it, so that's interesting. But I do think as a whole, I kind of enjoyed the games that I played last year a little bit more than the ones I played this year, you know? Even though I did adore the I played this, you know? There was also the excitement of being a brand new streamer and having people here for the first time. And honestly, I think I was just in a better mental base back then, you know? You like Amori more? No. The stuff I played before that. But, I just think I was in a better mental space, you know? Not that much better. I've been depressed since I was like goddamn 4. But I definitely think it's gotten way worse the last little while, you know? For the last few months, I've been really bad. Oh, I've been doing bad for me. Oh, I'm doing bad. But it is what it is, and it doesn't matter. And hopefully by next year, I'm beaming, baby, so I can enjoy Spooky Boogie to the highest potential. But as all, I still had a really good time, as always. I really appreciate anyone watching it. I had a really good time. I appreciate the games that I played. I appreciate all the creators that I played, whose games I played. I appreciate the Halloween spirit and all, you know? Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you had a really good time. Not only with Spooky Boogie, anything else you might have watched, anything else you might have done, any parties you might have gone to, and even if you went trick-or-treating or you're too old for that, I hope you had a really good time, because the spirit of Halloween is such a fun, it's some of the most fun that you can have in a year, you know? Other than Christmas. Love Christmas. Let's go, baby. But, yeah, as usual, thank you very much, Sal. Thank you very much, Jin. Thank you very much, Boy Toity. Thank you very much, Nana. Thank you very much, Lady Gorlog, Kodakill, Kevin Monkey, Joe Imp, Cyrell, and anybody else who might have been lurking throughout this year's Spooky Boogie. I had a really good time. I always appreciate the viewership, and I guess that's where I'll end it. As far as the future of the channel is concerned, I have burned out a little bit when it comes to streaming. When I first finished Boogie 2021, I had a 2 days a week schedule. And then the Xenoblade Chronicles happened. And I went to 3 days a week schedule. Which I feel might have burned me out, mostly because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the worst game ever made. I am gonna go back to the 2 times a week schedule, at least for quite a little while, because I do enjoy streaming a lot, but it has been eating up my life a little too much, and I would like to have enough time to fix my sleep schedule and to work on my main YouTube channel where I do scripted content. I haven't uploaded since October last month when I made that gaming during Halloween video, which by the way has like 260 views now, and this month alone got 4 comments. Which, 4 comments, oh, big deal. But, like, to me, it's a pretty exceptional amount of comments. I never get any traction on anything I made. And all of the comments were people going, like, hey, can you make another one of these? Can you make more content? I had one just yesterday that was like, hey, can you make a part 2? This is really good. And I'm like, yeah, I should make a part 2. These are good. Thank you. I'm proud of these videos. So I would like to, love streaming. I'm gonna cut it back to shorter streams and 2 times a week streams, so I have enough time to not only finish and focus on school stuff, but work on main channel stuff. And that will be the future of the channel, at least for the foreseeable future. As far as what I'm gonna be playing, it will be a mixture of small indie games, like plenty that I bought this time around. I have Baba Is You, Short Hike, just other lovable short indie games, and you know it, baby, we're going back to Xenoblade Chronicles. It might be a bad idea, but I am not gonna goddamn stop myself from just finishing up the goddamn DLC. I am probably not gonna play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for a very long time, but the DLC is only like 30 to 40 hours, 100%. It'll only take me like 4 streams to 5 stream at the maximum. So, what I'm gonna be doing is Monday, Friday. Monday, I'll do short spooky horror. Sorry, I'll do short indie game, maybe not indie game, short 5-hour game that I can stream. Friday, I'll play some Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Golden Tourneys until it's done. And then we can get it over with. And of course, there'll be Splatoon in there, thrown in there every once in a while, all that other stuff. We're going back to the 2 days a week model for a little while, for foreseeable future. And we're finishing up Xenoblade Chronicles 2, as well as doing Short Hike and other stuff. So next time I'll be streaming will be this Friday with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Actually, you know what? This Friday with a Short Hike. Let's do that. And then, if you buy it for me, I'll play it. And on Monday, we'll do Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And then we'll alternate. Monday, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Friday, fun little short game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Fun short little game. And it shouldn't take that long for me to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Not you, Sal. And then after that's figured out, then we'll just we'll see what happens. We'll do Frog Week. We'll figure it out. Things will be great. But, I hope you'll look forward to it. And I'm looking forward to it, to detox, be able to sleep in, to fix this goddamn sleep schedule of mine that I really need to fix. Also, I have a lot of goddamn copper to cut to make some money. So, yeah, that'll be me in the future. So, now, what am I buying you? No! Anyhow, thank you for watching. I hope you had an absolutely wonderful Spooky Boogie 2022. I hope you had a great, happy Halloween. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Or for the foreseeable future. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful time. And I shall see you soon. The Tang. Thank you very much. Wait, one sec. I gotta finish this the right way. All right. So I hope you'll have an absolutely wonderful night, and to have it end up.
Thank you for watching Boogie 2022. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow all my channels. Follow me on Twitter even though Elon Musk owns it now and it's racist.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching Boogie 2022. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow all my channels. Follow me on Twitter even though Elon Musk owns it now and it's racist. I love you, McDonald. I hate that you were a hate symbol.